alongside with my good friend Kevin Davis. Episode 15, and we're rocking and rolling. Before we get started, Kev, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, brother.
I know
I'm
it took us forever to get on here, but it's all right.
yeah.
before, so before we get going, I'm gonna talk to you guys about our friends at Pins and Aces. So if you're showing up to the course looking like a complete disaster, we got to fix that. That's where Pins and Aces comes in. We're talking premier golf gear, polos with four-way stretch, SPF 45 plus, and yeah, even a built-in sunglasses holder. Their head covers, hand stitched, absolute heat. This is the kind of gear that makes you look like you know what you're doing out there, even if you don't, which is probably both of us.
Mhm.
Plus, please free U.S. shipping over $70, same day shipping, and a free ball marker on $50 plus. Not only that, you go to pinsandaces.com and use code DollarBet for 21% off. You look good, you feel good, and you cash bets along the way at our boys with Pins and Aces. All right, my man. So, what do you want to start with first? Do we want to go with baseball weekend, or we want to talk about UConn's absolute amazing upset win over Duke? Because I feel like I want to go that way.
That was amazing. That honestly, I was literally in like the same mode that I'm in right now, in my back living room, on my couch. I'm watching the game and all of a sudden I see like they're down by 20. I'm like, this is great. I'm like, of course Duke is gonna do Duke things and
Mm-hmm.
just suffocate the life out of everything. And then I'm like, all right, UConn's making a comeback. I'm texting you, and then I'm like, there might be a chance. And then I'm
Yeah.
watching that final possession. The guy tips it. He lets it go. I literally audibly just scream. And then, you know, Brittany comes out. What's wrong? What's wrong? I'm like, the ending to this game was just amazing. Like,
Yep.
I
Yep.
couldn't believe it. And then all the complaining from Duke fans online and stuff. It's just, oh, I love it. I
What are
loved
you complaining
watching
about?
them.
You blew a 20-point lead.
Oh, there
Congratulations,
was
bud.
there was a foul. There should have been a
Oh, there's
technical
no
because people were
foul.
coming off the
Yeah.
bench. Dan
Oh,
Hurley got in
that.
the
Yeah.
ref's face, and
That was hilarious, by the way.
I know
Him
I
just
loved
like
it.
straight forehead to forehead.
I love Dan Hurley. I love him.
he's
God,
he's a he's
he's
a
a
goon,
psycho.
man. He's awesome.
He's a psycho,
but
just like Mick Cronin, but he's better.
but like you were saying, same thing with me. I was laying down and we were texting each other back and forth, and I was like, there's a chance. Then they started hitting one, and then they finally started hitting threes, and I was like, okay, this is where it's starting to get a little crazy. But then
Yeah.
once he missed the free throw, I was like, oh shit. I was like, there's the reason why they lose. They're gonna lose by like one or some BS. And
Yep.
then when he got the inbound in, I was like, oh, just foul him, foul him, foul him. And then Boozer, for some reason, I mean, the coach told him to throw it down the court, but I feel like you just got to hold the ball there. The worst thing you do is you get a possession tie up, and then at least you could set your defense
Yeah.
and something along on that line. But it was an absolutely amazing game. I was so excited for it, and I love the way it kind of it just happened. It went exactly how
I
you could
think what
think a UConn upset could win.
and I think what made it all better was that it wasn't a tight game. It wasn't a back and forth game. It was just like UConn having to come back the whole entire time, which was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, it was. Juan goes today's sponsor, Optimum Wi-Fi, driven by Tiger Woods.
Hey, listen, Georgia just got a huge signing.
Yo, that's amazing. That's a good
Georgia
one.
just got a huge signing.
Juan, every once in a while you come up with some zingers, bud.
Yeah.
So, but in terms of the other game, I mean, Michigan kind of just dominated, which we kind of expected. Um, Tennessee got, they got kind of railroaded by Illinois as well.
I figured that Tennessee was just going to get taken out by Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Um,
the best thing that happened to with Illinois is Florida getting upset because
yeah.
they just steamrolled through their side of the bracket.
Well, it makes it even better for me. I still have that one future on Illinois all the way back from
Yep.
the beginning of February, where I had Seattle, Matsuyama, Illinois. Um, I think I had like the Knicks to win the East and the Oilers to win the West for some crazy thing.
Some nonsense. Yeah.
And then I actually have one with all four teams that are in the final four. None of them straight to win.
Hmm.
They're all with like really made up parlays, but I have all four of them that are in there just because I do that just kind of hedge, make a $5 bet to win like 80 grand off of some
Yeah.
astronomical parlay.
Our all our BS parlays we'd like to throw out there that somehow one day it will hit.
Yeah,
I don't care.
like Bryson
One of them.
DeChambeau to win the Masters, Michael Jordan's driver to win the Daytona 500, something crazy like that.
So it was a good weekend in terms of all the games. A lot of closeness. I mean, St. John's had a chance to actually
Ugh.
beat Duke too, but
Can
they
I
kind of
talk
just
about that
faltered
for a
down.
minute? They took
Yeah,
out that one big guy. I think his name was Pry or Prey, something like that.
pray.
Dude, this guy's energy in the first half was insane. The guy was 4 for 4 from three or whatever, and then they take him out, and then they put in that little guy that made the game-winning layup.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that guy sucked. He couldn't hit a
Yeah.
shot. He was like an inch away from being an air ball on the final shot. I'm like, what are we doing? I'm like, Duke shouldn't have even been. They should have lost to St. John's. I'm sorry. Like,
I mean, they outplayed them the whole game until like the last
yeah.
4 minutes of the game, and that's the difference between a team like St. John's, teams like Duke that's been there, but obviously
Hmm.
it came back to bite them against UConn with Dan Harley, who's just I think he's only lost one tournament game in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So he's just a damn great coach. Um, for this weekend, with UConn playing Illinois, Arizona, Michigan should be a hell of a game. I'd be
That's
shocked if
that's
anything
like the
happens.
national championship. It sucks that they're on the
Yeah,
same side of the bracket, but um, for entertainment entertainment purposes, I would love it if it's Illinois versus Arizona or UConn versus Michigan, because I don't want to see Illinois Michigan. It's just like another Big Ten championship game, or
yeah,
UConn Arizona. They're just going to get run out of the building.
yeah.
If it's UConn Michigan, I think that has the dynamic of like the styles where UConn can bring Michigan down to their style, whereas in Arizona, I don't think anybody can stop them. Illinois just has a better chance than UConn because Illinois could actually hit their threes and not go one
Hmm.
for 80 like UConn did against Duke.
Yeah, yeah, they got to rely heavy on that. I guess you could say throughout the rest of the tournament between Illinois, Arizona, and Michigan
Hmm.
against them, because if they don't hit them, they have no choice.
No,
Granted, that's pretty much every team. You don't hit your threes, but at the same time, for a team that really, for the whole game against Duke, they scored a bunch of twos, and they literally just got hot in the last 5 minutes finally, and they kept the game close enough. So maybe they could do it on that standpoint. But Arizona, Michigan, just top to bottom, or I just completely can overtake the whole game itself. So
yeah,
more so than I think Duke can against them personally.
yeah. I agree with everything you just said.
Yeah. So I mean, as of right now, I think the Saturday, right? The game starts 6 and 8:30.
Yes, and
Um,
then Monday's the championship.
yeah, so I'm happy Arizona Michigan is the last game because I'm going to be wired into that one. Um,
Hmm.
we'll do a little bit more of a preview for those games on Friday when we do our show, and then next week I think we'll do a show on Tuesday so that we can recap the championship game,
Yeah,
because it's going to be I think it's going to be an awesome one. Hopefully, I kind of want UConn in it only because I want UConn, just like there's an underdog factor to them right now, even though they've won 2 of the last 3 years.
and it's a dynasty thing. If they win, it's like they
Yeah.
won 3 of the last 4 years with like a
Hmm.
bunch of nobodies.
Yeah, and it's they could have been, I think, eliminated a couple times already.
Hmm.
Who did they play in the first round? Oh, they played Furman. Furman played their ass off against them,
Yeah, they
and
did.
then they kind of took UCLA apart a little bit. But Michigan State, I think Michigan State kind of just blew it against them.
Well, I told you before that Michigan State and Virginia, I thought were two very overseeded teams. They were very vulnerable, like 3 seeds.
Hmm.
Um, so I think Michigan State just played very well at the end of the year to secure a 3 seed. I don't really necessarily think that they were. I thought Michigan State
Hmm.
was more in like the Tennessee territory where they should have been a 6 seed. And St. John should have been a 3 seed.
Yeah. No, you're right. And you know
Like,
what? It probably ends up being the same thing, the
yeah.
same, kind of how it plays out. But, you
But
know,
my argument to that is now, granted, UConn had a hell of a year, but
mm,
St. John's beat them. They beat them again in the Big East Championship convincingly, blew them
smacked
out,
them. Yeah.
and St. John's ended up being on the wrong side of the bracket, and UConn was a 3 seed. They
Yeah.
should have easily been flipped. St. John's right now would have played, or St. John's would have played either Duke or UConn, because UConn would have played Duke before that. So you don't know what happened. So it's
No. It was, listen, the whole tournament has been great. There's been a lot more, I think, upsets with, Iowa, Illinois coming out. Obviously,
yeah,
Michigan, Arizona were just easily the best teams the whole year,
yep,
regardless of what happened throughout the season. And then, you get a nice little 1-2 that UConn, like you said, shouldn't have probably been a 2, should have been a 5 or a
yeah,
3, or then St. John should have been a 2. And, who knows what it was going to look like at that point. But I think we probably still get St. John's and Duke again, unless UConn, upsets Duke around earlier, and
yeah.
then we get the rematch. But it's sorry, I'm watching the Met game. Okay. It gets a little, now these games, when you go through them, these bigger teams like, with Michigan, Arizona, you got the matchup we all wanted. Because if we got Michigan versus, I don't know, like Purdue, or oh god, like Alabama or something like that, again, you kind of see the ass kicking coming,
Hmm.
compared to this is going to be an awesome effing game. I cannot wait. Like, it's already marked on everybody's calendars. It's the one that, and they have like the
Yeah.
pregame, the pregame UConn Illinois game, just to get us a little spiced up before it.
Yeah, no, I honestly, I love these Final Four teams because it's something different. Um, I think the dynamic though of Illinois and UConn is like very interesting. I know everybody's all ramped up for Arizona, Michigan, but I really like this Illinois UConn game. I think Illinois is going to come out firing on all cylinders, and then like you said before, where UConn has that underdog factor now, where it's like you can't count them out of any
Nope.
deficit. They could be down by 30, and you're like, all right, I'll drop I'll drop a little bit money line on them at half and see what
Mm-hmm.
happens. You know,
Yep.
I wish that I threw at least a tiny bone in.
Yeah,
You know,
me too.
you had that one parlay.
Yeah.
And of course I think it missed out by what, a half a point.
Well, he didn't get odds. So what I did is that I showed this to Kevin, maybe like 10 minutes into the second half. I said, I got like $15 on my account. I'm just gonna wing some BS, and it was over 145.5, and UConn wins. But the second half score was going to be an odd number, which is, I'd never do that. I was just
Yeah.
like, let's see if I can get the most odds possible.
Oh, I thought they had to
And
finish with an odd number. Okay, because I was thinking like, oh shit, he got it with 73.
no, it was only the second half number.
I thought it was just team total. Oh,
Mhm.
okay. I misread that.
Honestly, if he hits the free throw before that, after one he missed, and the
Oh
same
yeah.
thing happens, then I hit it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, it's a Monday morning quarterback there. But
Yep.
at least there was a couple things that made it lose compared to just one thing.
Hmm.
But I'm looking for right now. I think Arizona's an underdog right now to Michigan, and I might roll Arizona money line. Honestly, I
Arizona's
just like them all
underdogs.
year. Yeah, they're plus 1.5, and then they're plus 102 on the money line.
That's going to change before Saturday. I think big
Yeah,
time. I would get that
and
in now.
yep, and UConn Illinois is neck and neck too. UConn's plus 110, which
Hmm.
I thought it was going to be a little higher, to be honest with you. And then Illinois is minus 130 on the money line. Over under 139.5. I feel like that can go over.
I'm gonna do a parlay on Illinois and Arizona money line.
That's a nice one.
I would rather just see Illinois versus Arizona than UConn Arizona. I think Arizona's going to beat Michigan.
I think so too. I kind of want to do, because I've been on Arizona all year,
Hmm.
just like since the middle of January, I should say. that like they, all the years past that, oh, they always choke, they always this, and
Yeah.
this was just a much different team. They have a lot more talent.
And I would love
And
it if Arizona won too, because then LeBron is going to take credit for that because Bryce is on the
oh
team
yeah,
riding the bench. So bear down. He had to post his very first post about Arizona.
yeah,
So
all of a
it'd
sudden
be
he
nice.
cares about it.
It'd be nice for LeBron to get another ring, because that'll be going up in his trophy
Oh,
case.
look, another fake ring we could put on LeBron. Lovely.
Yeah, yeah,
Might as well keep going with it.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you on Arizona money line. I'm still going back and forth with UConn and Illinois. I think I'm going to do exactly what you say. Bet Illinois in the beginning, and then hopefully they're up big at halftime, and then throw a little money in for UConn money line at halftime, and see if I can get some odds that can both win me the same amount of money.
Yeah, they might. Yeah, head to bet. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea.
Yeah.
But right now, I would honestly, I think when we are done recording the show, I might just throw something on Arizona money line right now.
Yeah,
if you can get plus money.
Yeah, plus money. Let me check FanDuel. I know that's DraftKings. I don't normally go on FanDuel anymore, but I'm gonna go see if they have something different while we're on here. They got a plus 105, so they're just as bullish as DraftKings is.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna check Caesars as well. No, I don't want to sign in. Please stop. Stop. Okay. They are the same. Wait, where is it? Oh, hold on. The NIT tournament. I got to look at that. Arizona plus 105. Yeah. So it's kind of in that same mark. UConn plus 115, UConn plus 112, UConn plus 110. Yeah, they're all in the same kind of wavelength there. But all right. Well, do we have anything else that we want to add on them, or do we kind of just want to go talk about baseball a little bit?
No, let's talk about baseball. I just tried checking to see if I could get out to do the ad read or whatever, but
I got it.
My lovely face disappears, so I would hate for Juan to make another comment about me having, Nextel Wi-Fi from 1997.
Nextel Wi-Fi. All right. So Aspire Energy.
I got 2 kids. Leave me alone. They're on their iPads.
Let me talk to you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. Why are you still drinking energy drinks that make you feel like your heart's about to explode? Switch to Aspire Energy. This is clean energy, 80 milligram natural caffeine from green tea, 0 sugar, 0 calories, and packed with vitamins, biotin, and more. No jitters, no crash, just smooth focus, unlike the Mets offense. They call it unextreme energy, and it actually works. Perfect for long betting nights or early mornings when you need to lock in. Go to aspiredrinks.com, use code DOLLARBETS for 20% off. Clean energy, no crash. Let's ride, and let's hit some bets.
Yeah. Kind of love that MLB Network now finally has like a thing where it's like MLB Big Inning, and they kind of like have like a bunch of games on. Like, I'm sorry, when the hell is the MLB and NBA and even NHL gonna fall into like that football, like the NFL like mode, and just literally do like a red zone channel every single night for all these games?
Well, it's harder to do for baseball because you can't. Everything happens so quick, and it's not as anticipated. I mean, yes, there are big times in the games and stuff like that. But both of them were just scored. I need them to at least tie it so that Texas scores a run. They've been found 4 runs since the second inning. It's the sixth inning already. Jesus. The Phillies finally scored. Yay, go Phillies. Anyway. No, so what my biggest thing was that when they used to be on DirecTV and you get the MLB extra innings, they had the 8 box, like not a quad box or octagon box or whatever the hell it is.
No, yeah.
I wish they would do that now. They don't do that on MLB.TV, and it kind of annoys the shit out of me. Because that was the one thing even if it's only 4, they do the 4 like the big inning thing where the guy just flip flops in between game. But let me tell you, if you're not Scott Hansen, just don't do it. You're not good at it. You're never going to be good at it. Just stop or hire somebody who can be at least somewhat close to it.
Yeah. Oh wow, I could actually get the Pittsburgh game. Nice.
Great. Thanks, Juan.
Well, no, I'm on DirecTV, so I pay for
Oh,
it.
so you got it.
I
Good.
pay for that shit. Kidding me? Getting back. We're
So
getting back. We're getting back into baseball. I've been out for, I don't know,
it's fun,
10.
dude. Baseball's great, man. It just sucks. It's gonna be last year for a couple years
Yeah, I know.
because
I'll root
it's.
now. I'll remember everybody's name, and when it comes back in 3 years, I'll forget again.
um, I'm sorry. I'm looking through the games. Brewers no runs. There. Okay. Anyway, so this whole weekend, um, it was obviously great to come have baseball back. I went to City Field on Saturday, so I got to see Luis Roberts walk off home run. That was awesome.
Thanks.
Um, yeah, I mean, you got one yesterday, so
At my expense, yeah, in the 10th. I was going to send you a text message too, where I'm like, the Pirates would have been 0-3, and I would have texted you and been like, "Yep, mid-season form already."
it sucks because yeah, I'm glad Jared Young's playing first base. Good job, Mendoza. That's a good one. Fucking idiot. It took 3 other people on the team that could play first base. No, let's put Jared Young. Piece of shit. Anyway, we'll talk about my Mendoza fucking hate going, cutting during the year because believe me, they'll come up multiple times.
And Pete Alonso just struck out with 2 men on.
Hey, he's really a Met at heart. Yep, I just watched it. Hey, he throws his head back. Oh my god.
Oh man.
So
they're giving you live updates.
It's awesome, actually. I love that. So throughout this weekend, Toronto, they played against Oakland. Oakland, had a couple of those games that they could have easily won. Or Sacramento, I'm sorry. The thing with Sacramento, or the thing with the A's, is that these games against Toronto, the Yankees, Seattle, they're going to get outmatched. They're just not good enough.
No.
But they're going to play their ass off. And I think they have a really good kind of squad that's going to get them to hopefully over that over-under. And, they kind of hopefully just beat up on the bad teams to get that number up there. Yeah. But Toronto still, they still have that never say die attitude. I thought they were going to take a step back. Let's see how the season begins. It's only one weekend. But I could definitely still see that, like, that energy and mojo in them of just never bowing out.
Yeah.
Is still there. And it all comes down to Springer. Vladdy's going to do what Vladdy does. He's going to be an MVP candidate. It's going to be all that. It's really on Springer, because if Springer can duplicate anything he had last year, they're gonna go right back to the playoffs. No problem. But it's really on him at 35 years old now to have the same year he had last year, which was a damn good year.
Yeah, it was
a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. So going through it, Baltimore looks like the same team I've been kind of preaching about. I think they, caught a luck box in playing Minnesota this weekend, who was awful. And I just don't think they have enough. And it sucks to say offensively, because they definitely have some good stars in there. But there's going to be times where that offense just goes away and they strike out a lot. And their pitching is already suspect as it is. I mean, hell, Bassett, I think, only lasted 3 innings today, or 4 innings. So now we're getting into the gritty. Like, if they had Trevor Rogers throw 7 innings, a 1-run ball the first game against the Twins, nonetheless. But if they're not going to get that, their rotation is going to be the real downfall of the team more than anything.
100%. Like, one thing I've noticed too about this opening weekend is that I feel like people are going to, like, jump out and be like, oh my God, Miami, they're undefeated. St. Louis jumped off to a hot start after, everybody saying that they were terrible. Like, let's pump the brakes, slow down a bit. It's still the first 3 days of baseball. A lot of games left. Like,
got 155 plus to go.
Exactly. So, but I'm just excited for. I'm actually, this is probably the first time in a long time I'm, like, really excited for baseball. Like, it's like getting my itch back. Like, I'm like, I can't wait for those long nights in July. All-Star break weekend, home run derby, summer, summer break, no work. I mean, luckily for me. So
yeah, rub it in.
Yeah, I'll be sitting on my porch, popping open a nice Aspire and watching the TV on the porch.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah. No, I can't wait to
I
do that too.
wish I wish I could show everybody the position that my dog is in right now. My dog right
Are you on
now.
your phone or you're on your laptop?
No, I'm on my phone, so that's why I can't do ad reads. Because if I do, I'm gonna be off the camera, and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, Kevin, your Wi-Fi is terrible." No, it's not. I'm just on my phone because everything just started crapping out on me last minute right before we started to go on.
Which is
But
crazy.
I will
Because we
show
got here
everybody
early.
that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Behind the scenes, this is my dog. Just
My
dead.
man is locked in to dollar bets.
Yeah, he's like, "Yep, I'm just gonna sit right here and just watch our guys.
That was
Just-
awesome.
Just gonna watch our guys." But
Man.
I do though want to read some interesting stats though about. I'm gonna go Juan. I'm gonna go away for 3 seconds. Okay, don't be crazy right now. All right, hold on. Let me see.
Go
If
away for 3 seconds.
I'm gonna go away for 3 seconds. Because I want to.
I'm gonna throw this out there. The NL West is just ass.
Yeah, they're
Diego's a good
terrible.
team. San Diego's a good team that'll get going. Arizona, Colorado, San Francisco, they all suck. They're all fucking terrible.
Yeah, but
the Giants scored 1 run.
God, it's awful. So another thing I want to do is I want to bring up because of baseball and like the Hall of Fame and everything like that. And I always will say that listen, say what you want. Steroids made baseball cooler. Okay, it was nice when we didn't know about it. When I was like a 7-year-old kid just watching guys hitting bombs every night, it was amazing. Barry Bonds, though, in his career, he had 1,000 more walks than strikeouts in his career. 1,000 plus.
Yeah.
He had 575 plate appearances against Hall of Famers, and he hit 292. And he had 7 strikeouts. 7. And 575 plate appearances.
He's incredible. And that story about him potentially being on the Yankees and the Yankees messing it up, which, LOL.
Yeah.
It's just, did he catch that? Oh, no, he didn't.
And then one more insane one so I can hop back on. From 2001 to 2004, he played in 573 baseball games. Do you know how many times he reached on base in 573 games?
552.
539. 94% of the time this guy was getting on base. How was that not a Hall of Fame? Like, throw steroids away, okay? Let's just listen. If MLB is going to be really that stingy, just make it its own hall. We have one for the women in there. Just make it its own hall.
Yeah, I mean, just make some kind of note that, like, hey, there's some asterisks on this, but you know what? They have his stuff in there already. So it's not
here's
like
the thing. They're penalizing the guys that played really good on steroids. Now just think of all the guys that were ass that were on steroids that just didn't get noticed because they sucked. So you got to think, like, did it help these guys? Yeah, but it didn't really help everybody if everybody was using it. Because then everybody's numbers would be crazy.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, I still think at the end of the day, wow, that it's still cheating. It's still what it is what it is. But it was in an era where everybody was doing it, so you can't, as much as you want to penalize them, you can't penalize them as much. But they're getting their licks in, and you know what? It's gonna go past once they start getting all these other old guys out of here.
Listen, once these old farts die, that's when they'll get in. Once our generation.
Yeah, because I'm going to be honest. Like, I love Carlos Beltran. He's a Hall of Famer, but he was the quote unquote ringleader for the Astros shit.
Yeah,
and they basically just said 1 year you're not getting in. Next year, okay, you're in. So it was like it's a little weird. I still think steroids and everything is wrong. Terrible compared to what the Astros did, but. Come on, like you can't just let one guy in after 1 year of punishment and then not get better. Like Bonds is going to get in probably when he's dead, like Pete Rose will be.
That's still an abomination to me. I'm sorry.
It is.
Dude, the guy bet on his own team to win. He didn't bet on him to lose. He bet on him to win.
It just you can't. You can't do it, and I get you can't do it, but there was nothing that really...
The etiquette of baseball. You know what? Make baseball cool again, and people will start watching.
Okay? Listen, the ratings are actually through the roof, and I
Oh,
gotta give
now
them
they
credit
are.
because the transition that they have done for the last couple of years between the pitch clock, between the now
ABS.
the ABS, everyone loves the ABS. You hear the crowd
Yeah.
go nuts now. It's
Yeah, because
crazy.
the umpires look like morons.
Which again, let's talk about that real quick. I do not fucking care.
I hope it's a strike.
Yeah. I do not fucking care that it singles them out for messing up their job. What do you
Yeah.
think the NFL refs do, bro? The NFL refs, are you fucking kidding me? Am I not going to get a run here? Okay. The NFL refs have been criticized for years, and they have replay, and they had all these BS rules made up. You're going to tell me that one singular pitch is going to be a big difference between why you like a person, why you don't?
Well, we still don't know what
why,
a catch is.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah, we still don't know what a catch is. That's 100% true. But you're going to fucking, it's a real smack in the face to the umpires. Hey, asshole, get it right. This is meant here to get this right.
Yeah.
And yes, I understand, it's a little bit here and there. It's like, oh, you're pushing it with this. You're not, though. The point of this is to get it right. And I understand the human aspect of it, but it's
everybody was saying too, because at the beginning of it, I was kind of against it a bit, because I was like, all right, it takes the element of like the naturalism out of baseball, where it's like it's a judgment call. You're gonna have arguments, every day about it. But going on and thinking about it, it's going to make the game more polished as time goes on, with the strikes and balls and being able to challenge it. And everybody's like, oh, it's going to slow the game down even more. It probably won't. Like, they're probably going to have something out in the scoreboard where you're going to see the ABS. You're going to see, like, I still haven't understood why they just don't do that. Where, like, how ESPN or some of these other games, how they have like the box around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just put it up on the scoreboard and you could see where the ball is. It's already right there. Like,
yep.
So I don't know, but I could tell
for firsthand experience, when I was at the game on Saturday, whenever there was a call challenged, literally 5 seconds, it was up on the big screen. It showed where it was. Boom, done, over. Let's rock. It's not like this is a 20-second thing. It's 5 seconds. That is it. It's not terrible.
Everybody was freaking out because everybody in spring training every 3 seconds was going like this.
Yeah, well, Well, if you're bitching about that, then you clearly don't understand or know what's going on, because they've already said it multiple times that teams only have 2 challenges. And the whole first weekend of games, you see teams that are hesitant to even do it until they get to the 7th or 8th inning.
That's when you should use it. When you're down to nitty gritty and it's against a closer, and then you need to get him rattled, and he thinks he throws a strike 3 and it's actually a ball 4. It's like, that's when you got to do it. You got to get in these people's heads.
Yeah, and I'm just another perfect example is that on opening day for the Mets, right? Freddie Peralta had a pitch on the inside corner that was called a ball, and he tapped his head.
Looking on my screen, I can't believe Andrew McCutcheon's still playing baseball.
I know. He killed the Phillies this weekend.
Keep going.
He killed the Phillies.
I could not believe it when I just saw him on my TV. And he just got
God, motherfucker, man. Can I get a run?
Oh my God. Jesus, he just threw that right by him.
Well, that's what happens when you're 39 years old now.
Dude, listen. 2013 will always be a special place in my heart. I love that team. I will go to the grave telling my grandkids about that team.
That team was very fun. That team was so much fun.
Stacked.
God. Hold on one second.
I'm glad to see that we still don't have any runs.
Who, you guys?
Yeah, we're losing 2-0.
The fucking Cubs took off.
Dude, Diamondbacks are just atrocious. They're just awful.
Diamondbacks is dead. No, yeah. So back to before that, when I was saying the NL West is horrible.
Yeah.
San Diego's going to be a team that's going to build up on wins, which is why I took their over from those 3 teams. San Francisco's offense is worse than the Pirates. You can bookmark it now. Don't even care what anybody says. their offense is worse than the Pirates.
Well, the Pirates are going to make the
1000%.
playoffs. Let's just slow down, everybody. I'm back in it now. I'm going to will this team to the playoffs.
But they're dead. Arizona's bad. They're going to trade Ketel Marte by the midseason, and if they don't, they're stupid. That team is not. It's that him and Corbin Carroll, and that's it.
It's crazy the fall off they've had too since going to the World Series. What, like 2 years ago?
Yeah. Well, they had like Suarez that year. Well, maybe 3 years ago now. Well, 2 years. Well, they had Suarez. That they had good players that had like career years. But it's finally starting to get into the point where everything's starting to fall off now for them, and they got to trade Ketel Marte because they need to get as many prospects in that system as possible.
Yeah, I'll take them. We were great when we had a Marte on the team. Let's get another one.
The NL Central. I know the Cubs are 1-2. They let up a lot of runs this weekend.
It's the Cubs division to lose. It's just who's going to come in second. I really don't put any stock in. I know everybody likes Milwaukee, but if you look closely at the like right when the season started, if you look closely at like the division, like who's going to win the NL Central, it was the Cubs by like a large margin. But then it was like the Brewers were like plus 500, and then the Reds were plus 600, the Pirates were plus 700. So they're not that far off from wherever. And then, it's just, I don't know. Do I want to make a run? Yeah, but I don't think we will. But the Cubs right now are just, I know they're 1-2, but the way that they're playing tonight, man, like, geez, like this lineup is just disgusting.
No, when that lineup gets going, it's going to be very, very hard.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it's not even warm out yet. Bregman hit 2 home runs yesterday.
Yeah.
Michael Busch is a damn good player that nobody really talks about as much. I've had a couple of bets on him. Pete Crow Armstrong, let's see if he can finally do it for a full season. They signed Nico Horner to a bigger deal. So they have dogs in that lineup. It's just more now, can their pitching, match up to it? I think their pitching is fine, but can it match up to it? And that's their biggest downfall. Like if they go to play the Dodgers, their starting pitcher is going to be the reason. Just like the Mets, when they play the Dodgers, their starting pitching is going to be the reason.
Yes.
So can it match up to the Dodgers? And Dodgers are much, much better lineup than anybody else's. So if they can shut them down, then great. But you're looking at the kid. You have Yamamoto, who's a dog, absolute dog. He's a Cy Young. He's so good. And then the best guy is not even Glass now, or I forgot who the other guy is, or Blake Snell when he comes back. But this guy Shamrock or Henrock, I forgot his name, that missed the second game of the year. He's a stud too.
Yeah.
So now you're going to bring this kid into the mix, and it's just like, Jesus, Lord.
The rich get richer.
The rich get richer. And that's just a product of their development system and, buying players.
I might take a stab, and I'll see what the standings are, like probably like the end of May. And I'll see how Atlanta's doing. I looked at like odds on them at the beginning of the year to win the East. I might see how they're doing at the end of May, and I might fire off on that. I know you're a huge Mets fan and stuff like that, but it's just it wouldn't put it past me to see the NL East like at the end of the year. Every team is like, in between that like 86 to like 95 range, and it comes down to like the final like 2 series. And, I wouldn't I'm not going to put it past any of that. I don't think the Nationals and the Marlins will hold up. Like as of right now, like the Marlins are just getting destroyed by the White Sox. Like, let's be real.
And this is, I'm going to have a little humility here. The White Sox may not be as terrible as I thought. They're still going to be bad, but not as terrible as I thought. So they have a lot of guys that are kind of just, scratchy and claw. It's a gritty team that is a bad team, but it's going to be pissing you off. It's going to be like those old Marlin teams that won 65 games or 70 games, and you're just like, it's fucking 2-0 in the 4th inning already, or the 2nd inning already. Why? Because
like the Rays.
Yeah, they had single, stolen base, bunt over, fly out, 1-0. Single, stolen base, fly, all that. And next thing you know, you're down 2-0 already. But
Yeah.
the team's not good enough to hold it. But it's just like, God, we're coming back every single night against these
That's another division though I'm gonna keep an eye on too once we get towards like the late May, like beginning of June. I might put out a division flyer on like teams that I think could probably come. That's another one I'm gonna be locked into too is the NL Central or the AL Central, excuse me, because I don't know what the hell's gonna happen out of there. It's like Kansas City, Minnesota, Cleveland, Detroit, White Sox. Like I don't know. I feel like every year it's a toss up. Every
It's
year
Cleveland, Detroit.
it's the Yankee Invitational. Who's going to step up to get destroyed by the Yankees?
Yeah,
Because the Yankees,
the Yankees
always play.
Yeah, the Yankees can only beat AL Central teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Well, I have a couple futures on the Yankees to come out of the East, or to come out. I think I have one to win the East, and I have one to them to win the ALCS. So
I mean,
I'm Yankee.
it's not a bad bet. They're
No, because it's literally their conference to lose.
Mm-hmm.
I know
I like
everybody.
Seattle a lot.
I know everybody likes Seattle. But if it's a 2-race dog, why don't I just hitch my wagon to the Yankees? They seem to do it every year where people don't realize.
Seattle's not a AL Central team, so that's why they're going to lose.
Very true. Yeah, Houston.
It's just I don't like. I keep bringing it up, but it's the fact that it's such a true stat. It's just unbelievable.
I know.
The only series they won was against Boston last year, and Boston was significantly hurt.
Yeah, and like for the 20 years prior, it's been the Twins.
Yeah. Jesus Lord. But I don't know. I still like Boston. Toronto's still there. I think Baltimore is going to falter off. I'm not really that big into them.
Yeah, Baltimore. I don't know. Baltimore's a weird team. I feel like they have enough tools to put it together. It's just they just never seem to find a way to do it. Like they go out and they get Alonso, and then it's like I hope for Pete's sake it's not another Chris Davis signing because we all saw how that turned out. You know what I mean? Like I don't want it. I don't want it to be like that. But it's like, all right, they throw all this money at another first baseman, prominent home run hitter, and it just
because that's not their main problem. Their main problem is not because they can't score. The main problem is that they can't hold teams. Trevor Rogers or Tyler Rogers is their starting ace. Like, come on, man. Tyler Rogers is that exactly. And they traded so many prospects to get him. I'm not even going to go down that road. In the third, and he's like a third best starter, in your rotation.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's asinine the fact that they gave him that much money and everything. But
I swear to God, if we get shut out by the Reds, I'm personally calling Connor Griffin and having him come up to save this team.
Well, let me tell you something. I don't know if he's still pitching, but Chase Burns is a good pitcher for them. So
yeah.
Oh, he's not. He's done after 5. Okay, yeah, I don't
know. I think a lot of teams, though, yeah, but you see that a lot of really good pitchers, they only do like 4 or 5, 6 innings, maybe, just because they got to get their feet behind them.
Yeah, especially in the beginning of the year. Absolutely. Yeah, because it was yesterday that McLean went 5 innings, 8 strikeouts, but he had 82 pitches, and it's like we get back to this thing again where we worry about the pitch count and we worry about the innings, which is, I'm telling you now, it hurts the pitchers more so than anything. Look at Yamamoto. Yeah. Yamamoto came over from Japan where it's a 6-day rest period before he pitches again. And he's out here throwing freaking dynamite every night now because he's used to it and they just let him go. Mm-hmm. And that's how it should be. I'm sorry. I've said it from the beginning. Analytics has a part in baseball, but analytics has a point where it can ruin a baseball player.
I want a sweaty, fat, old pitcher that throws 130 pitches and just goes, yep, whatever.
Bartolo.
That's the dude. Like, I want a pitcher that's going to, 70 pitches, 6 innings. All right, take me out. I'm done.
I hate that, man.
Nice for Paul Skeens to pitch 2 outs the other day.
Yeah.
Fucking guy.
I think that just goes to what, Skeens. Obviously, he just wasn't there fully, and it's just a bad day. It happens.
No, well, listen, you got to think he probably didn't get enough training in, and it's his first fucking first game. You see, teams have done, a lot of these players, as people like they don't really think that like me personally, you're not going to sit there and be like, "Oh, this guy, he watches film on this pitcher, or he watched." They get up, they do what they got to do. They go to the ballpark, they do BP, and then that's it. But a lot of these guys are dialed. Like they know certain pitchers' pitch counts. They know how they, their delivery. They know how they set up. They know how it's going to be when they do a strike, or when it's you see it all in movies and shit. Like, oh, this guy tips his pitch. So
Mhm.
you never know. They could have watched, a lot of film on Skeens, first game of the year.
Yeah, and he just came back off the WBC,
Hmm.
so he had a lot of already emotion built into that. So,
And that was
and
another thing where fans were bitching about too, where they were like, "Oh, I don't want my pitcher pitching in that, if it doesn't mean anything."
listen, I don't like it, especially after what happened with Diaz a couple of years ago with that. And
Why don't they just do it in the
it,
middle of the season? I would rather
well,
them to take 2 weeks off in the summer for All Star break, and then do it then.
I just don't think that's gonna the MLBPA is just gonna sign off on that though.
Probably
That's a
not.
it's a big problem. Like literally, they should absolutely do that or make it in November because it fits into their schedule perfectly.
Yeah.
Because they don't compete with anybody
Nope.
in the middle of the summer, just with themselves. And then maybe in November you just don't have the games on Sunday for football.
But that's what I mean. Like if you did it in the summer, right? And let's say it's a 3 week period, you shorten the season from what is it, 162 games to 140? Like, is it really going to make that much of a difference?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think they already Max Scherzer said something about it. Like, let's go from 162 to 155, and fit a weekend extra on the All Star break so that we can get these games in.
Yeah.
So I'm not opposed to it. I just think teams, especially, are not going to go with it because of how much is invested on these teams for these guys, especially in the middle of a pennant race.
Yeah, I agree.
So I could see it happening. I don't think it will because I think the MLB would shoot hard against it more so than the PA. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't know. Everything can change. O'Neal Cruz didn't help at all. No, he did not. No, he did not.
God. Yeah, let's put a shortstop out in center field. We're great, guys.
Which they did that last year, and I said you're going to ruin this kid's career by making him play center field.
It's because he's fast. It's because he's fast.
I just don't get it. Put him at second. Put him at third. Put him anywhere.
He
I bet
was
you
a
put him left or right. You're gonna put him
shortstop.
at. You're gonna
He
put him
was
at
a
center.
shortstop, and they're going to put him in center field. I want Clint Hurdle back on this team so bad. Just bring him back out of whatever retirement home he's in.
But Beatty, that's a fly out. Hopefully Polanco can get third. No, stay there. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the AL East talking about it before. It's going to be a dog race the whole way. NL East the same way.
Yeah.
I think the Mets off. When the weather gets warmer, teams are going to start hitting more and more, and you'll see it. It's always the beginning. It's like been rookie sensation since we start. Since opening day, all these rookies hitting home runs, and they'll probably do that for about 2 or 3 weeks. MLB will start to understand how to pitch them, and then you get the real guys coming out. Like who's the real studs out of here?
Yeah.
Not the the same thing happened last year with Key Crow Armstrong. Like he was great for the first 3 months. Teams figured out how to pitch them. He had a terrible second half.
Yeah, it was awful.
So now he's got to, adjust in the same way it goes back to them. So we'll see how he kind of, keeps going with that. But let's see.
I think on Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday's show next week, I think I'm going to do a little Masters segment.
Okay.
Just to cap us off with more sports talk, so this way we don't
continuously talk about. Well, I mean, we got a good 3 weeks coming up of the Masters, MLB, the NFL
NBA
draft,
playoffs,
NBA playoffs,
NHL playoffs. Yeah, the draft. So
yeah,
we got a bunch of stuff to get into, and then I'm working on a new project right now. I told James about it earlier. I'm not going to disclose anything just yet. Might drop it in the Discord. but something really cool, really exciting that's going to be taking place over late spring, summertime. So just be on the lookout for that.
Sweet. I can't wait. I know a little bit about it, and honestly, I can't wait. And I can't wait to do it with you at some points.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
It's either going to be that or it's going to be Jackass.
It's going to be electric.
So, all right, bud. I think we covered up a lot of what happened this weekend.
Yeah.
Have any last things before we get out of here?
Nothing. Let's just try to win some bets.
I love it. I love it. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. I think we're over 18,000 subs now.
Yeah.
Close and closer
Let's try to get to
20,000.
20. Let's try to get to 20.
Slowed down a bit, but let's get the momentum back up, and we can crack 20, then get to 30, then get to 40, and then who knows what can happen after that.
Yeah.
So thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you, everybody, Juan, especially in the comments, for commenting with us.
Thanks, Juan.
Like, subscribe, comment, all the YouTube shorts that are coming out. You're getting a lot of love. We really appreciate it, and we cannot wait to continue to put out content for you guys.
Yeah, man.
Kev, I'll see you later, my man. We'll talk
soon.
brother.
See you.
Later, everyone.
Peace.